All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. This is going to be a quick one. I just want to talk about something that for some people may not be that interesting, but anybody that records vocals like myself, this may or may not be a hot topic for you because for me, for a long time, it's something that I never really considered, but it's on the subject of popper stoppers. Now, for those of you that don't know what a popper stopper is, it's a pop filter that you place in front of your microphone to block the gust of wind that comes out of your mouth when you make a P sound. So basically when you go, it's a burst of air that blows directly into the capsule. Blows directly into the capsule. And when you do that, it makes a loud noise into your microphone. So as far as popper stoppers themselves, they're pretty basic. In fact, the first popper stopper I made was years ago. It was just a basic wire hanger, and you take a pantyhose material and just stretch it over there and figure out how to rig it in front of your microphone. From there, I got the classic popper stopper that's basically like a mesh filter that's on there. And as far as the different types of pop filters, there's not many. There's what I'm describing as this, which it's a mesh filter, as you could see. And this one in particular has what's called a gooseneck. But the biggest problem that I've had with these, well, there's a couple of problems, but the biggest problem that I've had with these is this. Like, let's say you position it like you want it like that, and you're like, okay, good. And then the thing falls down like that. So these things, you really got to figure out how to get it in place. And depending on your setup, it may be easier at times than other times. But, a lot of my time as far as getting the mic set up is always messing with one of these things. So that's when I started looking for other solutions, primarily because of that. But unexpectedly, I ended up getting a new type of pop filter that doesn't use a mesh at all. It actually uses a thick sponge foam. And this is the one I got. So I don't know how you say it's a Soon Talk from Amazon. And anyways, it's a thick aquarium foam. So it's a type of foam they use in an aquarium. But these ones, there used to be just one brand that was quite pricey. So the mesh ones you could get for like 10, 15 bucks. But the ones with the aquarium foam, like this one that I'm actually using now, it actually originally, like the original brand, I don't know if it was like a trade secret or whatever, what they were using, but they would sell that for like $100 or $100+. So, but once the material became, everybody knew what it was basically the aquarium foam. Then people started making different variants of that. And I ended up paying like $15 for this one. But the main thing that I wanted was something that was easily attachable to my setup, and I didn't have to deal with the gooseneck. And I don't know if you could see from the picture, but this thing, it has this clamp here, and this clamp, you just clamp on to the bottom of your microphone. And then the popper stopper, it kind of you could adjust it how high you want. And anyways, it just goes like that. So for me, just having that alone was worth the like $15 just like that. Nothing's wrong with the other one other than the other issue. But upon using the new one, what I instantly realized is once I started mixing the first vocal track that I recorded on that the vocals didn't have this weird thing that goes on the high end when you're using that mesh material. And this is something that I don't hear many people talk about because it's something that only discerning ears will really recognize. But the way I could describe it, it sounds almost like it makes your voice a little bit more like lispy, if in a sense, like where, it doesn't necessarily remove the sibilance from your voice. It actually does something in which it makes the sibilance sound weird. And it's something that I've noticed as my mixing skills have gotten better. It's something I've noticed because as I've gotten new microphones and used different microphones, the underlying thing with the vocal that was always unpleasant to me when I'm mixing, especially trying to get the lispiness out of the voice or the sibilance, is that was the underlying issue. And so by upgrading the popper stopper, effectively not only got something that didn't have the gooseneck, but also instantly upgraded the sound of my microphone. And that's something that I think that a lot of people may not know, may not even consider, especially starting out, because it's like, you need a popper stopper. That's like one of the first things, especially like as a rapper, right? That's one of the first things you're going to go out and be like, oh, I'm going to get a popper stopper, or you're going to make a homemade one with a hanger, right? And do your thing. And I think that's fine for beginners. But what I can tell you is that once you get to a point where your mixing is more critical and you're looking at what the weakest link in your vocal stage would be, or your vocal chain, then I think that that's when you start needing to break down everything that's in the way of your vocals to your final mix. And fortunately for me, that's something that was kind of an added bonus when getting this. So besides these two types, there is another type that's a metal filter, which I personally have never been a huge fan of. I know someone that a long time ago that used to have one of the Neumann TL103 microphones and used one of those with it. And for me, I was just kind of like, oh, well, I have this popper stopper and it's been fine. But I haven't personally used it. What I have read is that people have complained that it may impart some sort of metallic ringing sound in there from, having some sort of resonant sounds. Me personally, I don't have much experience, but what I can say though is if you're in the market for a pop stopper, or you just want to upgrade your sound, or you're in a position like I was where you didn't want to deal with this gooseneck thingy, look, where it's, doing weird stuff. And not only that, but the other thing is, look, it has this screw on it. So if it's leaning this way, it's fine. But if you wanted it to lean like this way, then yeah. So if you're in a position like where you're tired of this and you want to get a little bit, pretty much better quality sound overall. And I'm not going to say like it's going to make your sound night and day like 100% better, but I would say probably like 5%. Maybe that's that last 5%, especially if you have a decent mic, good audio interface, and have, a treated room. If you have all that, then I say, why not? It's $15 and for me, it's a no brainer, but it took me a long time to do it. I used the other one for like 20 years, but anyways, that's enough yapping from me. If you can afford it, $15, go get one. Amazon. Here, I'll show you again. It's the Soon Talk. Yeah, I'm not sponsored by them or anything. I'm not sponsored by anybody, actually. So I'm just, recommend what I use. But yeah, if you got the $15, whatever, definitely worth it. And besides that, I got a couple other videos coming soon. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. And as far as this video, usually I do a lot of cuts and edits. This one might be a little rough around the edges, but I'm trying to be a little bit more one take, Jake, and that's it. But you let me know in the comments how good or bad this format is, and we'll go from there. But thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it, and peace.